And we know many of you might be adding a new driver to your families this year as we move through the coming months. Don Tips is here to help you with some advice on saving money on your insurance when adding a teen driver first. When is the time to add them?
Well, and that's a good question, Andy. A lot of people think, because they have to do so many hours of training, or they're going to one of the schools, the local schools, to do it, and they're driving themselves, they're driving the parent's car. You do not have to add them at that point. Okay, so they're covered. They're covered
because they don't have a license yet.
Correct. They do not have. They have a permit.
Okay.
They go get their permit, but they haven't taken the driving test, and they have not officially got their license. So you don't have to add them until they officially get their license.
The minute they get that license, you want to make sure you get it. Like not a day out. I mean, you need to do it, be on the spot.
Yeah, like you always say, Andy. You always want to be in good conversation with your agent. Let them know, and hopefully you've had some conversations about that, coming up, and that's kind of the point behind this segment.
Some of our best friends, Ernie and Shelly, I remember going through this with them because they have two daughters just like us, but they're older and they're going through all this. Now their kids are in high school, but I remember when they started driving. Are there tips to save money? I remember them saying, "Oh, wait till you add a teen driver to your insurance."
It is. I mean, and Andy, there's no way around it. When someone calls and adds, I say, you know what? I'm sorry. I mean, there's just no way.
You start out with the apology.
Yeah, exactly. But there are some things that you can do to help control it. And one of the biggest ones is the vehicle. You choose. Some people are shocked, when they buy a newer vehicle and a nice vehicle or a sports type car, and it still shocks me. But they're surprised at the rate, and I'm like, well, it's a quick, faster car, or it's a sports car, something like that. So the first thing, Andy, is the vehicle itself. You need to be smart about that. And again, if you've got a good relationship with your agent, you call them and say, hey, I'm looking at this vehicle.
Is this a good idea?
What is it going to do? Right, is it a good idea? Is it not a good idea? Because there's some surprises out there that you would think would be good ideas, and then they're really not so much.
As a parent, I want to say, I'm like, girls, you're driving a 1976 Cadillac. I'm going to get you the biggest hunk of metal you possibly can to drive around. I want you in that character builder.
Yes.
Something that's going to save me some money on that insurance. Okay.
Exactly.
But some of the things that we have to talk about when we add those teen drivers, do we have to change our vehicle coverage, our deductibles, all that?
You know what? You don't have to, Andy, but some things that you can do is, if you get a vehicle that you're going to borrow money for, well, the bank requires you to carry full coverage on it. Well, if that's the case, it's going to be really pretty expensive for that youthful driver, okay? So if
when you say pretty expensive, like ballpark me one here.
It just depends on the vehicle.
Let's say I got a 16-year-old daughter. I'm putting her in a Toyota Camry.
Thankfully, it's a daughter, so that's a good thing.
The son gets it?
Yeah, the male's a little bit more expensive because statistically we're more aggressive. But for a daughter in a Camry with full coverage, a newer Camry, you're probably looking at about $150 to $175 a month. For that. So not horrible, and that's with all the discounts that we're going to talk about. But with the coverages, Andy, you can opt to, even if the car's paid for, but it's a nice vehicle and you want full coverage, you can do that. Choose higher deductibles. Okay. You can choose $1,000 or $2,000 deductibles for those coverages.
And then real quick, there are some unique discounts for youthful drivers. There are some unique
discounts that the kids can get. So youthful drivers, they automatically get one for going through driver's training. Okay. So that's going to be there. But grades are a huge thing. That is a huge discount. So they've got to.
It shows that they're more responsible. They're with it.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. It's all based on statistics. But if they can carry a 3.0 or better average, okay, so it's a B average, then you get a discount. But then also their driving record. If they can, no tickets, no accidents. Stay that way.
So even though C's will get you degrees, it won't get you a discount on your insurance.
You know that slogan.
I do. Always good to talk to you. Remember, if you haven't talked to your agent recently, maybe it's a good time to switch. Give our friend Don Tips a call, or you can look him up online at www.dontips.com. All right, Don.
Perfect.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Coming up next, Texas Tech University Health Science Center wants to make sure your health is